Right. S phase. Cell cycle discuss cheddam. Cells reproduction. 9. Right. Now discuss cell cycle. Present topic DNA part is the cell cycle. Is it visible, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Right. Once again, look here, all of you. Right. This topic is cell. What is cell means? Cell is the structural functional unit of basic life. Right. Cell is the basic unit of life. Yes or no? Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
How many phases are there in the cell? Now discuss in the particular cell division, right? Cell cycle. Cell is the structural, functional unit of basic life. Yes or no? Right. Now discuss the how many phases. These are cell is the two divisions mainly: mitotic division, mitotic phase, as well as the meiosis phase, right? Mitotic division mainly 4 types. One is the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. These are to the mitotic phase, right? Mitotic phase mainly 4 types, mainly prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, right? As well as the G1 phase. G1 phase means growth and normal metabolic growth. First growth phase, growth and normal metabolic growth, that is called as to G1 phase. And as well as the second growth phase means G2 phase. Second, these, look here all of you, these are to the second growth phase. Second growth phase means growth and preparation of mitosis, right? Equal distribution as well as the cell division places to mitotic division and meiosis division. The mitotic division mainly these are to the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. These are mitotic phase. Growth phase means first growth phase G1, second growth phase to G2, and interphase are there. Interphase means DNA replication. These are S phase means synthesis phase. S phase means synthesis phase. Which is a synthesis? DNA replication. What is DNA? DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. What is DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid. What is RNA? Ribonucleic acid. What is RNA?
Ribonucleic acid.
DNA is the how many formation of how many nitrogen bases are there? What is nitrogen bases? adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine. These are to the nitrogen bases. RNA means ribonucleic acid. Ribonucleic acid is nitrogen bases. Adenine, guanine, thymine, as well as the only for these are to the uracil is the RNA. Nitrogen extra stages to the uracil formation. These are RNA. Cell cycle, cell division to the mainly mitotic phase or meiosis phase. Mitotic phase mainly mitotic phase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, right? G1 phase means growth and normal metabolic roles. G1. G2 phase means growth and preparation for mitosis phase. And as well as the replication of DNA, synthesis phase, right? Cell reproduction. Here all of you, cell reproduction. Cell reproduction and cell start and first enter G1 phase to enter phase 5, enter the S phase, synthesized phase, G2 phase, and as well as the next stage to prophase. Look here, all of you, these are to the prophase. These are prophase, and these two metaphase. This particular area, these are to the metaphase, as well as these anaphase. These are anaphase. This particular area means anaphase, right? These type of in the telophase, right? Whole complete the cell must reproduces. They die to the life of a cell is turned the cell cycle. The cell cycle as distinct phases, which are called as to G1 phase, S phase, synthesis phase, growth phase, synthesis phase, G2 phase, and M, mitotic phase. These are to the specification of the cell and cell reproduction, right? Cell and cell reproduction. Specialization are more in the divisions, the cytokinesis, formation of the cell fluid, nucleokinesis, formation of the nucleus, that is called as nucleokinesis. These are the cells and cell replications. Now discuss the as in the divide the specification of the cell division, mainly mitosis, mainly how many mitosis, how many phases are there? Prophase, metaphase, and anaphase or telophase, right? G1 phase. Now discuss particular G1 phase. These are to the process G1 phase. During this time, cell organelles, right? Cell organelles are producing protein synthesis is occurring for growth and differentiation. Growth and differentiation. Cellular contains including of chromosomes and duplicated, including of chromosomes and duplicated these are, look here all of you. These during this time or this time organelles are reproducing protein synthesis is occurring for growth and differentiation because transcription is occurring, the DNA is uncoiled. This phase is the most variable, almost nothing to adds to. These are to the phase, G1 phase, right? G1 phase, cellular content are chromosomes. For example, these are to the G1 phase and S phase. These are synthesis. Each of the chromosome, 46 chromosome. 46 chromosomes mean 23 pairs of chromosomes are there, human beings, right? Human beings, how many chromosomes are there? 23 chromosomes, 23 pairs. What is the 23 pairs? 22 pairs of autosomes, one pair of sex chromosomes, one pair of sex chromosomes. Autosome, 22 pairs of autosomes, one pair of sex chromosomes. What is the one pair of sex chromosomes? X and Y is the sex chromosomes, right? For example, X and Y sex chromosomes, these are the process to reproduction. The production of sperm is called as spermatogenesis. The production of ovoms is called as oogenesis. You know idea? Anybody? What is the spermatogenesis? What is the oogenesis? What is gametogenesis? Tell me about Venkata Narayana Reddy.
Don't know, sir.
No
idea, sir.
Hello?
Sir, no idea, sir.
No idea. Okay. Next, Elizabeth Sunil.
Sir. Forgot, sir, actually.
What is gametogenesis?
Forgot, sir. No idea now.
Okay. Sunil, no idea. Next, Jayalakshmi.
No idea, sir.
What is gametogenesis? My question.
Y chroma, I guess Y chroma, gamma.
Not answer. Next, Sandhya.
No idea, sir.
Okay. Pavan Reddy.
No idea, sir.
No idea. Right. Once again, repeat. These are to the process. Please listen. Spermatogenesis means the production of sperm, right? For example, look here one slide. Please wait. Look here one slide. Spermatogenesis means the production of sperm. The production of sperm right. Right. These are to the particular spermatogenesis. Right. The production of sperm is called as spermatogenesis. The production of ovoms is called as oogenesis. These are producers of the beginning at puberty, continuous constantly throughout in the men's life, right? Continuous constantly throughout a man's life. These are spermatogenesis, right? The process of spermatogenesis begins with mitosis of the diploid spermatogenea, germ cells. Diploid germ cells. These are to the spermatogenesis. Right, now discuss. These are, look here all of you. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Good. Nice response. Thank you to everyone. Right. Right. These are spermatogenesis. Okay. Spermatogenesis means in the sperms in the production of sperm is called as spermatogenesis. Yes, clear. Right. These are to the mitosis division. These are mitosis division. 2n plus primary spermatocytes. Mitosis 2n means mitosis is one 1n and 1n. Is it clear? Look here. ఇక్కడ ఎంత ఉంది నాన్న 2n ఉంది. ఇక్కడ ఏముంది నాన్న 2n. ఇక్కడ ఏం జరిగింది? మైటోసిస్ డివిజన్ జరిగి మియాసిస్ 1 లో 2n 1n 1n రైట్ సెకండరీ స్పెర్మాటోసైట్ ఫామ్ అయింది. ఏమైందన్నా? secondary spermatocyte form, right? These are to the meiosis 2 lo emaindi malli next spermatotide erpadi. These are formation of the spermatotide to the separated to the spermatogenesis, right? These are to the cross section of seminal tubules, cross section of seminal tubules. Right, this particular part of the lumen and serotoli cells, spermatogonia. These are to the spermatogonia. This particular part of the spermatogonia. These are primary spermatocytes. These are primary spermatocytes. Right, this particular structure. This the production of sperm. Right, testes. Production of sperm, testis, right? Testis produces to the sperm, right? Testis produces to the sperm, right? Spermatogenesis, mitotic process. The mitotic process, mitosis process, germ cells. Germ cells means divide mitotically, repeat in the produces of the cells, the differentiation of two, the equal distribution of characters, right? Meiosis process. Meiosis means cell in prophase of first meiotic division, primary spermatocytes. Primary spermatocytes go through the first mitotic division, became secondary spermatocytes. Secondary spermatocytes. These are secondary. Is it clear? Hello?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
right. These are the meiosis division. Cell in the prophase. How many phases are there? Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Right? How many phases are there, Nana? 4 phases. Right?
Prophase.
Phase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, right? Meiosis, this phrase, meiosis process, which the diploid number of chromosomes. Meiosis process, which the diploid number of chromosomes present in the spermatogonia, the germ cells reduced to the haploid number of present in the manner spermatozoa, right? Right. Next, these are product second mitotic division called as spermatoids. Spermatoids. Second mitotic division is called as spermatoids. Next, spermatogenesis. This is the metamorphosis of spherical spermatoids elongated to the spermatozoa. Mitosis or meiosis occurs during spermatogenesis. The acrosome forms flagellar apertures, forms most excess cytoplasm. Residual body is separated, left in the serotol cells. Spermatozoa are released into the lumen of seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules, right? Role of serotol cell in spermatogenesis. Serotol cells, molecules that promote sperm production. Serotol cell has to also been called as mother. At the serotol cells formation of blood testis barrier. Serotol cells provide factors necessary for successful propagation of spermatogonia germ cells and helps with the development of the maturation of sperm cells. Provide production to the germ cells, right? Hormones involved in spermatogenesis. What is a hormone? Tell me about definition of the what is a hormone. Anyone? What is a hormone? Hormones has a chemical messengers. Which is a hormones? FSH, follicular stimulating hormone. LH, luteinizing hormone. MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone. And prolactin hormone. These are to the hormones. What is the mainly function of the FSH? Follicular stimulating hormone. Which is the follicle? Female follicles and male follicle. Which is the female follicles? Female follicles is the ovum. Male follicles is sperm. Sperms and ovum formation of the zygote. That is called as fertilization. What is the fertilization? Fission of gametes is called as fertilization. Fission of gametes is called as fertilization. The female gametes and male gametes. What is the female gametes? Female gametes means ovum. Male gametes is sperms. These are formation of the zygote. That is called as fertilization. Okay. Hormones. What is the hormones means? Hormones has a chemical messengers. Hormones has a chemical messengers, right? Which is the hormones? The pituitary gland releasing of the two types of hormones. Pituitary gland releasing of two types of hormones. What is the, which is the two types of hormones? One is the peptide hormones, right? And as well as the neuropeptide hormones, right? Peptide hormones means these are to the proteins hormone, peptide hormones like that. These are pituitary gland releasing of pituitary glands. You know pituitary glands? Pituitary gland is the pear-shaped gland, master gland of endocrine system. Like that, look here once again. Look here, all of you. Is it visible? These are pituitary glands. Right? These pituitary gland. What is pituitary gland? Pituitary gland is sometimes is a hypophysis, small gland that these are to the from the base of brain link pear-shaped gland. Several functions of several hormones produced by the hypothalamus are stored in the releases of into the blood stream. Right? These are to the pituitary gland. Right? The pear-shaped gland, botany ginja parimanamlo. Botany, the pear-shaped gland. These are particular region of the hypothalamus. These are brain. Okay? Brain. Is it visible? Brain kanipistunda mi andarki? Brain structure?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Sir.
Right. Thank you to everyone. Please
Yes,
respond. Thank you to everyone. This particular
Yes, sir.
structure of the brain. Okay, Nana? Right? These are hypothalamus. These are hypothalamus. Okay, Nana? Next, these are to the pituitary. These are pituitary. Right? What is the pituitary gland means? Pituitary gland is the master gland of endocrine system. Pituitary gland is the master gland of endocrine system. Right? Right? Pituitary gland, these are two parts are there. One is the anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary and two lobes. For example, anterior lobe, this particular area of the anterior lobe, these lobe are to the posterior lobe. Right? Two parts releasing of the particular posterior pituitary gland. These are to the posterior pituitary lobe. Posterior. These are to the this particular part of the in the anterior lobe. These are anterior lobe. This particular color anterior lobe. Right? Posterior lobe and anterior lobe. These in the structure of it is very small, only the size of pear-shaped gland, 500 mg, right? This particular gland location means just base of the beneath the base of the brain, behind the bridge of the nose or land, the hypophyseal and as well as the hypothalamus, below the hypothalamus as the location of this gland. Okay, right? These glands is the releasing of the hormones. Which is the hormones? And now discuss these are to the posterior and adrenohypophysis, like that this part of the adrenohypophysis, anterior lobe, releasing of the hormones. Which hormone? FSH, follicular stimulating hormone, LH, luteinizing hormone, MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone, prolactin hormone. These are GH, growth hormone or somatotrophic hormone, right? These are hormones are there. For example, growth hormone, high secretion of the growth hormone. Okay, na? High secretion of growth hormone, that is called as gynecism. Low secretion of growth hormone, that is called as pituitary drops. Okay, na? మీకు బస్ స్టాండ్లలో చిన్న పిట్యూటరీ డ్రాప్స్ అంటే మరుగుజ్జులు అంటారు. ఓకేనా, చిన్న చిన్నగా ఊపిస్తారు. చిన్న కాళ్ళు, చిన్న చేతులు, ఫేస్ ఇస్ ద ఫ్లాటెడ్ ఫేస్, రౌండ్ షేప్ ఆఫ్ ఫేస్ లో స్మాల్ గా కనిపిస్తారు. వాళ్ళని ఏమంటాం? పిట్యూటరీ డ్రాప్స్ అంటాం. ఏమంటాం? పిట్యూటరీ డ్రాప్స్ అంటాం. ఓకేనా, మరి గ్రోత్ హార్మోన్ సీక్రెషన్స్ వల్ల జరుగుతుంది. అలా ఎలా జరుగుతుందనా? దీస్ ఆర్ పర్టిక్యులర్ ఫంక్షన్ ద రిలీజింగ్ ఆఫ్ growth hormone, right? These are particular function releasing of the growth hormone, which is the high secretion of growth hormone is called as gynecism. Okay na? మరి ఒకవేళ గ్రోత్ హార్మోన్ అనేది ఎక్కువ రిలీజ్ అయింది అనుకోండి, ఏమవుతుంది? చాలా పెద్దగా పెరుగుతాం. పెరగాల్సిన దానికంటే ఎక్కువ హైట్ కావడం అనేది జరుగుతుంది. 8 feet 7 feet నుంచి 8 feet అనేది కావడం జరుగుతుంది. వాళ్ళని ఏమంటాం అంటే గైనాంటిజం అంటాం. దీస్ ఆర్ క్యారెక్టర్స్ టు ది గైనాంటిజం. లో secretion of growth hormone, that is called as pituitary drops. That is called as pituitary drops. High secretion of growth hormone is called as gynecism. Low secretion of growth hormone is called as pituitary drops, right? These are to the releasing of hormones, right? Next, FSH, follicular stimulating hormone. Which is the follicles? Female follicles, male follicles. Female follicles is the ovum, male follicles is the sperm, right? Female follicles is the ovum, male follicles the and sperm, right? These are to the FSH, releasing of follicular stimulating hormone. Follicular stimulating hormone. And LH, luteinizing hormone, right? These are releasing of development of the sperms and ovum developments. That is the function of the luteinizing hormone, right? MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone. These are color changes. The factors to the animal particular color changes, MSH hormones, right? Next, prolactin, the child milk gland functions. That is the prolactin hormones. Next, neurohypophysis. This part, posterior lobe, with the releasing of the 2 hormones are there. Which is the 2 hormones? Oxytocin and vasopressin. What is the oxytocin? These are releasing of the labor pains. Releasing of the labor pains. Oxytocin releasing of the labor place. That is the oxytocin hormone. Inhibition of oxytocin. Inhibition of oxytocin. There is no releasing of labor pains in the after 9 months. These are functions to the releasing of oxytocin. These are does not releasing of this hormone in the cesarean of the child, cesarean of the in the delivery, right? These are in the posterior pituitary, right? Neurohypophysis or posterior pituitary. And vasopressin hormone in the emotions and feelings, as well as the changes of in the physiological activity. That is called as vasopressin. Right? Posterior and hormones and releasing of these are to the master gland of endocrine system. Pituitary gland to the master gland of endocrine system. Right? Right. Look here. These are to the thyroid gland. These are pituitary gland. Right? And diabetics, infidus conditions, which is the body losses capacity, concentrated urine, next over secretion of vasopressin causes the syndrome of these are to the anti-diuretic hormone, right? These are to the vasopressin hormones. These are hormones oxytocin. The target of the body, uterus and mammary glands. Affected by affects uterine contraction and relaxation to the effects of the function, right? And vasopressin. Vasopressin is the mainly the anti-diuretic hormones. ADH, vasopressin as well as the functions of ADS, anti-diuretic hormone. What is the anti-diuretic hormone? These are to the target in the body, kidneys, arterioles of the body. These are to the vasopressin, right? Effects means stimulation of water restriction and raises of blood pressure by the contracting arterioles, including male aggregations. Incidents to the male aggregations. These are right. ADH, antidiuretic hormone. Vasopressin is the antidiuretic hormone. These are to the posterior pituitary. Posterior pituitary, how many hormones are releasing? Are there? 2 hormones. One is the vasopressin and oxytocin. Vasopressin and oxytocin. Anterior pituitary, this is like the structure. These are PR shaped, size of PR shape. Right? Anterior pituitary, which is the releasing of these TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, ACTH, right? Next FSH, LH, GH, and prolactin. These are releasing of the anterior pituitary, right? Anterior pituitary glands, the front lobe pituitary gland, which is found in the floor of the brain, called as these are to the specification of anterior pituitary releasing of TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, follicular stimulating hormone, ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, luteinizing hormone, GH, growth hormone, prolactin hormone. These are to the anterior pituitary releasing of hormones. Right? Next, anterior and posterior pituitary. These are to the process. Important of anterior pituitary. Stimulate growth and maturation of gonads. influence sexual behavior, influence sexual behavior, control growth and metabolism, control growth and metabolism, control chemical and water balance in the body, chemical water balance in the body, right? These are important of anterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary control chemical and water balance in the body, control growth and metabolism, influence sexual behavior, stimulate growth and maturation of the gonads. These are to the particular the pituitary, anterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary, the target tissues, TSS, thyroid gland, ACTH, adrenocorticotrophic hormone, adrenal glands, adrenal cortex, prolactin, breast, target of the gland and target of the function, prolactin, the breast, FSH, ovaries and testes, LH, ovaries and testes. These are to the hormone of anterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary particular target tissues, growth hormone, most of the tissue, TSH, thyroid gland, ACTH, adrenocorticotrophic hormone, adrenal cortex, prolactin, these are to the breast, FSH means ovaries and testes, LH, ovaries and testes. Once again, all of you look here, these are to the particular gland and function. The adrenal glands, this particular part of the particular, these are to the particular in the posterior pituitary. These are to the anterior pituitary. Posterior pituitary and anterior pituitary, these two lobes are there. Only for now discuss anterior pituitary, thyrotrophic cells, thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, and as well as the prolactin hormone, mammary glands, prolactin hormone, mammary glands, and as well as the adrenal gland, adrenal cortex, cortico and trophic hormone, adrenocorticotrophic hormone, ACTH. These are functions to the adrenal cortex, adrenal gland. Which is the location of the adrenal glands? Top of the kidney, one pair of adrenal glands, cap-like structures in the human beings, that is called as adrenal glands. Right? Next, these are to the growth of muscle, growth of bones, somatotrophic cells secrete growth hormone. Somatotrophic cells secrete growth hormone, that is called as to adipose tissue. That is called as to adipose tissue. Next, and FSH and LH, gonadotrophic cells secrete follicle stimulating hormone, FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone. The development of testes and ovary, that is the function of the LH, luteinizing hormone, right? Next, M.Sc., melanocyte stimulating hormone, intermediate cells, pairs intermediate cells secrete melanocyte stimulating hormone, M.Sc. These are to the secretion of colors changes. Next, growth hormone. Growth hormone means these are like that structure. growth hormones, right? The stimulation of growth, bones and muscle, other organ, increasing protein synthesis, affects protein, fats and carbohydrate metabolism, growth hormone secretion of the abnormal development of pituitary gland, release of secretion of growth hormones. TSH means thyroid stimulating hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone. Thyrotrophin releases of the hormone hypothalamus, stimulate the thyroid gland, secrete hormone thyroxine, right? Adrenocorticotropic hormone ACTH, stimulated by corticotrophin releasing hormone from the hypothalamus. ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, stimulate the adrenal gland cortex to secrete a hormone cell as the glucocorticoids. Secretion is regulated by negative feedback and as well as the ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormones. Adrenocorticotropic hormones, corticotropic hormones, ACTH. Next, prolactin hormone. These are to the stimulation of regulation of prolactin hormone and the releasing of stimulation of production of milk in the breast following pregnancy. These are to the prolactin hormone. Gonadotrophins, luteinizing hormone LH. In males, stimulation of the testes to secrete testosterone. In female, stimulation releasing of ovum by ovary. Right? These are called as spermatogenesis, oogenesis, gametogenesis. The production of sperms and ovums is called as spermatogenesis. The production of sperms and ovums. For example, the production of sperm is called as spermatogenesis. The production of ovums is called as oogenesis. Sperms and ovums are gametes. Female gametes, male gametes. Female gametes is the ovum, male gametes is the sperm. These are to the regulation of the production that is called as gametogenesis. That is called as gametogenesis. Right? Follicle stimulating hormone, FSH. In male, stimulating production of sperm cells in these testes. In female, stimulating maturation of ovarian follicle to secrete estrogen by ovaries. Estrogen by ovaries. Right? Look here, all of you. This summary of the anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. These are to the releasing of hormones, the particular time. Right? The adrenal cortex, the ACTH and GH growth, MSH melanocyte stimulating hormone, TSH thyroid stimulating hormone, and as well as the FSH follicular stimulating hormone. This look here, and as well as to in the LH luteinizing hormone, corpus luteum, as well as the ovary, and oxytocin, the development of the breast, as well as the prolactin, and ADH, ACTH, adrenocorticotropic, as well as ADH, adreno antidiuretic hormone. These are to the kidneys, antidiuretic hormone. Antidiuretic hormone. Look here, all of you. Neurosecretory cells, pituitary portal system, anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. Thank you to all. These slides, right? These are to the summary of adrenal cortex and ACTH, right? Prolactin, ACTH, growth hormones. These are hypothalamus, hormones of the anterior pituitary, GH, TSH, ACTH, prolactin, FSH, LH, luteinizing hormone. These are important of anterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary gland, size of PR. This anterior pituitary gland is the front lobe of the pituitary gland, which is found at the floor of the brain, called as these are these are to in the G1 phase cycle. The mitosis process, meiosis process, how to process of mitosis and meiosis, the specification of the slides. What is the reproduction? What is the process of endocrine glands? Now discuss system. Now discuss only for these are mitosis. How to process of mitosis and meiosis, right? These are because of transcription. Transcription is occurring of DNA is nucleoid. This is the phase of most variable, almost of nothing of changes to during phases. During this time, organelles are reproducing of protein synthesis. This occurs for growth and diffusion. That is called as to changes of particular time, right? G1 phase of the cell cycle, right? This look here, all of you. G1 phase of cell cycle, G2 phase, M phase, mitosis phase, G1 phase, interphase, and S phase. Look here. These are to the specification of the most cells that differentiate will do in the during phase cell division, G1, G2, M phase, S phase, synthesis phase, right? S phase, These are to the S phase. S phase. S synthesized phase is the second phase of the cell cycle. SR synthesis phase is the second phase of the cycle. DNA nucleus, DNA replication occurs. Additional organelle replication occurs. This type of phase, right? DNA replication means what is a DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. The additional organelle replication occurs to the change to replicant. This phase and that emerging during the cell. The daughter cell will have the same genetic content as the mother cell. Genetic content of mother cells to the specification. G2 phase. G2 phase means G2 phase of the cell cycle. These are to the G2 phase, gap 2 phase occupies the time from the end and until the onset of mitosis. During this time, the cell prepares for mitosis by making and organizing necessary proteins such as the tubulin needed to the construct, as well as the microtubules which used to make spindle fibers. On the average, this phase may to be the few 4 hours. 4 hours, these are to the phase on the average. The phase, these are to the G2 phase. G2 phase occupies the time from the end of S until the onset of mitosis. Next phase of the M phase or mitosis phase. Right? M phase or mitosis phase. During mitosis, the nucleus is replicated and the cytoplasm divides to produce 2 genetically identical daughter cells. Genetically identical daughter cells, as well as to remember that the DNA is replicated to mitosis. During mitosis, the nucleus is replicated and the cytoplasm divides to produce 2 genetically identical daughter cells. Remember that the DNA is replicated. DNA is replicated DNA is replicated as well as to replication of DNA to mitosis process. Phases are generated by this acclimatization of cell signals, right? The amount of DNA varies during the cell cycle. Amount of DNA G1, S, G2, M. These are phases. This graph represents the amount of DNA found in the cell during the cell cycle. What caused the changes? What happens at the end of mitosis? Control of the cell cycle. Control of cell cycle. Internal controls of the cell cycle. The control of the cell cycle is dependent on an acclimatization of signal molecules as well as the chemical signals in the changes of the cell cycles. Right. These are to the specification of control, the G1 phase, M phase, G2 phase, S phase. The cell cycle has number of several external and internal checkpoints, much like the time, the clockwise. After moving fast, those are the checkpoints involves the chemical signals that have been as to the complexes. Checkpoint is the primary determining factor for all cell division to take place. Growth factors, the cell cycle, and once are to pass the DNA is going to be replicated if we are recessive characters and as well as the changes to cell cycle chapter and as well as the chapter name ante these DNA part 2 cell cycle and the life of the cell, this chapter. Sai Kumar, chapter name cell cycle as well as these are to the third unit cell cycle PDF and DNA part significance, right? No, middle lo enter అయినట్టుంది. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, this is the biology class and cell structure and functions, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Right. These are to the slides చెప్పుకుంటూ వచ్చినాం మనం. These are slides to right. External signals of cell and internal signals of the cell. External signals of the cell and internal signals of the cell. These are to the external signals also affect the cell division, mammalian cells, and the need to the nutrients of regulatory of proteins, additions to the growth factors can determine the external signals also affect cell division, right? Substance called platelets as well as the derived growth of factors, right? These are Right. These are to the development of external and internal. Internal signals also affect the cell division. External signals also affect the division. Mammalian cells need the nutrients of the regularity proteins. In addition, for example, irregular of the proteins to the deficiency of the malnutrition. What is the malnutrition? Kwashiorkor, marasmus, as the obesity. These are to the malnutrition deficiency, right? As well as first, the investigation to the how to grow developments of the cell division. Look here, all of you. These are to the PDF, right? Determine the cell growth, cell division, movements. For example, skin has been damaged around the platelets, around the substance of the platelets. Derived growth of factors, growth of stimulation of the fibroblast cells. Fibroblast cells start to reproduce, make in the tissue, right? These are to the external signals as well as the mammalian cells to nutrients regulatory proteins. Additions to external growth factors can determine cell division of mammals. For example, the skin has been damaged around the platelets. These are to the factors. Right. External factors also influence the cell cycle, right? External factors also influence the cell cycle. Right. Now, these are to the external factors also influence the cell cycle, cell reproduction, and the homeostasis, bleeding, the controlled via blood clotting, right? These are to the homeostasis, inflammation, propulsion, and remodeling. These are to the homeostasis. Homeostasis, bleeding is contained via need of via blood clotting. Inflammation, bacteria and debris remove the damage of platelets, release platelets, growth factors, these external growth factors to the fibroblast cells, reproduce, make the new cells, that is called as to inflammation. And propulsion. Propulsion means fibroblasts reproduce, forming the extracellular matrix, that is called as propulsion, right? The propulsion means cell reproduction to healing of to change propulsion. Fibroblasts reproduce, forming an extracellular matrix, that is called as to proliferation, and remolding. Extra collagen and cells that are not needed are removed. Not needed are the gaseous phase. How many phases are there? G1 phase, and as well as the G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase. So these are to the cell cycle. Growth phase, synthesis phase, M phase is mitosis phase. These are the cell cycles. Right? Control of the cell cycle. These are to the auto formation of the process cell growth and division in eukaryotes is called as cell cycle. This is the divide to the phases based on what happens to cell growth given to the G1 phase, G2 phase, and as well as the M phase. M phase means mitotic phase, right? This particular chapter, right? External signals. Once again, cell cycle control and checkpoints, right? These are to the G1, M phase, G2 phase, S phase, right? Look here, all of you control this cell cycle. This once again repeat all this topic. Right? These are the external signal effects of the cell division. This slide. Next, cell cycle control and checkpoint activity. These are to the cell cycle control of the cell cycle. Control the cell cycle. These are to the function of the complex, CDK complex, as well as the G1 phase, S phase, M phase, different types of cycles. Nature of cell cycle, cyclic nature of cell cycle. Internal controls of the cell. Internal controls of the cell cycle. G1 phase, these are the cell cycle. G2 phase of the cell cycle. Look here, all of you. Next, S phase. Once again, repeat all of you, all slides. S phase. Okay, na? Next, these are to the G1 phase of cell cycle. G1 phase of cell cycle. Cell reproduction, mitosis process, meiosis process. How to start is the specialization of more cell divisions to cycle start. Interface to the G1 phase, G2 phase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, mitotic division. Right? These are to the DNA part, cell cycle, and this topic, third unit, cell cycle topic. Now discuss this session. Right? All these students. Next classes, same as usual schedule, 25th Saturday and 26th Sunday also, as well schedule, right? Thank you to everyone. Right, in this section is closed. Right? Any doubt to and calling my number 900011291. Suggestions and calling this particular topic.
సార్ ఈ బయాలజీ దాంట్లో ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అండ్ మెటీరియల్ ఏమైనా ఇస్తారా సార్?
టాపిక్స్ కంటిన్యూషన్ లో కంప్లీట్ అవుతాయి. నో ప్రాబ్లం. నెక్స్ట్ సెషన్ లో మళ్ళీ కలుద్దాం. ఏమైనా డౌట్ ఉంటే అడగండి. ఓకేనా? తర్వాత ఓకేనా? ఇది లైవ్ క్లాస్.
మీ నెంబర్
900111291.
ఓకే సార్. సార్ మీ పేరు?
900111291. నో మోర్ డౌట్.
మీ నేమ్ సార్ పేరు?
వెంకట్ సార్, జువాలజీ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you to all.
Thank you, sir.